For anyone considering a mini split for their van project, 100% yes, just do it. I have this set to turbo mode 61 degrees and I am pulling in 600 watts on max. This thing is incredible. It feels so good in here. This is Bronte, my 1996 Stewart & Stevenson M1079. Really all that means it's retired American military. With the help of some friends, I've been turning this into my dream rig. It's starting to really become summer. It has jumped 15 degrees during the day. So the next big project I want to tackle is air conditioning. Because I don't want to be a sweaty, disgusting monster in the back of the truck. My hands slipping on things that I'm working on. Hell no. So we've got ourselves a Gree mini split. It's a 26 SEER, which theoretically means that I should be using anywhere from 300 to 400 watts an hour from air conditioning. I am making a retaining wall inside the truck right now, and got to remove this, kind of measure everything. I know I'm supposed to have about 6 inches from the ceiling for proper airflow. I'm not doing that. I don't have tall enough ceilings, so I know it's not going to be as efficient as it should be. Sue me. This is going into a van, but yeah, I got a couple holes that I have to drill out of the truck to get this installed, but we're gonna be cruising in comfort. Let's do it. This right here is the kitchen wall that leads into the bathroom, but it's also what's going to have the mini split air conditioning unit. Now, my ceiling is white, obviously, and some accent panels are white as well. So I wanted to throw a little bit of color at this. I'm going with a wallpaper. I've never used wallpaper beforehand, but it's cheap, inexpensive, and if I hate it, I can remove it. But I'm hoping this looks pretty good. The color's not as green as I thought it would be, but I think it'll add a kind of a bohemian, more unique feel to the vehicle. So let's get her done. Look at that. We are in. So when it comes to routing the hoses as well as the cabling through the truck, I wanted something that was an airtight seal. So what I found was a company called Airex Pro Systems, and it is this flange that I'm gonna mount to the back of the vehicle. I'll cut my hole so it goes right through here, and this is gasketed. Where I want it to go. Yeah. Let's see. That's not a lot of room. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to cut this down just a little bit. Okay, so what we have so far, it's inside the hole. I'm gonna route it here and then clamp them down so it does not move at all. And then we're right about time to connect these. For a really good seal, I'm using nylon glue. Gonna put this on the seals and wrap it all up. The air conditioning's gotta get done. I've never done this before, and like many people who build vans, everything is brand new, so you watch a whole bunch of YouTube. I've been on HVAC videos for about 2 weeks to get enough confidence to cut my hoses, the copper, and run it correctly. So what I've done right now is I have a waterproof seal that is gonna connect to the hole that I cut. Everything is routed down. I just cut the copper to basically the perfect length. Now I'm gonna flare all these out, put on the rest of the tubing to clean this all up, get it connected, pressure test everything, and then while that is testing, get all the electrical done. Honestly, it's pretty simple. You connect the same order inside as you do outside, and then you just have your power cables right here, and it tells you exactly what to do. So, you got this. Now that we're testing to make sure that it holds the vacuum, I'm going to start wiring the inside to its own breaker. So I have run a 12 gauge. I mean, for this size AC, a 14 gauge is fine, but I oversize absolutely everything since I plan on being in Central and South America where it's hot. I don't feel like having an electrical fire. So spend the $2 now to save the RV later. I've ran it all the way to the top with everything else. It is this long strand right here. Time to move everything out of the way, get this plumbed in. That should be the 15, 20 minutes that I want. Get back outside. Let's fucking do this. Right here is my breaker panel. First thing to do, turn off the power. You don't want to electrocute yourself. Here is my 15 amp breaker that I will be using. Slide it right into here. So to avoid any heat buildup, I'm going to put my breaker right here next to the fridge and bathroom. These two use the least amount of amperage, whereas the cab, water heater, and kitchen control most of the other appliances inside the truck. Snap out this piece right here, which means that the breaker is going to slide into this spot right there. So we're all wired into the inside of the vehicle. It's been about 25 minutes. Let's see if we're holding a vacuum. Yes. Love it when the plan comes together. We are holding -30. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give a little bit of positive pressure. Just a little bit. Just so it reads. And then I'll let this sit again just to double check. I don't want to have to do anything a second time. And if it holds for about 10 minutes, I'm gonna get this all sorted out. I completely forgot to do this step, but make sure you close the low side before you go ahead and release a little bit of refrigerant. It was coming out of the port on the top of the motor. So close that real quick. I've turned it for about, 1.5 seconds. Now we are right there, and I'm gonna let this sit as I do the wiring outside. If it holds, time to get the system all set up. Okay, so everything is tidied up. We've got the electrical run through here, up and around so you can't see it, covered by this black bar. Everything is coated, bolted in. I think right now we're ready to flip the fuse and start this sumbitch. I'm gonna go put some batteries inside the remote control, but it's feeling pretty darn good right now. Okay. Here's the unit. Oh, haha. Breaker. AC on. And that's all there is to it. I've got it set at 67. It is so quiet. And the outside unit, you can't even hear it. Chef's kiss. Let's go back inside and enjoy this cold.